What's up, SNA fans? Sorry about the delays. I'm just having some internet connecting difficulties at the moment. But I'm gonna start off on where today's video is the review of the SNA podcast, the AEW Rampage review, and we're gonna start off on today's AEW's review with the match of the night, perhaps, even though it's nothing special, nothing out of the ordinary, just the usual typical episode of Rampage. Business as usual, but we'll start off with John Moxley taking on Lee Moriarty because John Moxley faced his friend last week at AEW. I believe at AEW Dynamite Collision. It was Collision last Saturday. And this is where we got Lee Moriarty started off things with him hitting the headlock right onto John Moxley, but John Moxley answers back by countering and pushing him right to the bottom corner rope. I mean, the left, right corner ropes to the left. This is where he does leapfrog, hits a big elbow right to the face. This is where John Moxley was like, "Yeah, well, I think you're gonna play with the former AEW champion. You think you're better than a former world champion?" And then this is where Lee Moriarty's like, he just completely bitch slapped me. And this is where what's his name? Shane Taylor was like he hit you like that. And this is where John Moxley went right into the ring. He's like, "All right, get out of my way, Baldy." And then this is where he tried to throw him out. What's his name? Moxley gone at it to each other. He was like, "Oh, you want to hit me?" Like, "No, you want to hit me." And this is where John Moxley like, whatever. And I was thinking to my head like, what is up with Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty starting to look like Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins last week as the Street Profits? I thought that was the Private Party's job to be their versions of the Street Profits. But anyway, this is where we got John Moxley and Lee Moriarty spinning around the ring. This is where they start grappling it out. This is where John Moxley placed him right into the right corner side, bro. This is where he hits a very minor stinging chop, which I believe Gunther felt, and he did not like it, because he left the company that he's working for right now. Like this is where he started completely doing his chops, but this is where we had Gunther add him to the envy list about a few times. But this is where John Moxley stopped doing the chops, iron sweeping from the left corner to the right corner. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where Lee Moriarty looks. This is where he goes for a schoolboy roll up, but which was the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. This is where you guys had no choice but to let go of the former AEW champion. This is where John Moxley's like, "Oh, you want to fight now?" This is where Lee Moriarty started repeatedly hitting right hands right into the face of John Moxley. This is where John Moxley just pit slapped him with his right hand right into Lee Moriarty's left jaw. This is where he's like, "Oh, you want to play it dirty? Like, let's play it dirty." This is where he started hitting forearm, and I was like, "Lee Moriarty, please stop saying it like that. Like if you're your own mama," which I'm not trying to insult right now. But yeah, just tell Max Caster, what did you told me about what your mama likes? But anyways, but yeah, like first it was the Tiger style, which I guess that's one thing. But what about you saying, "Well, play it dirty"? Like, let's hope it's in the ring and not. They start whacking each other with the fist right into each other's face. This is where. And then they start hitting each other respectively by a pattern, one at a time. Start hitting forearms with each other's face. This is where fans like, "Yay, boo, yay, boo, yay, boo," right? And in a repeated way, this is where he hits a triple and half a dozen strikes in a row right after John Moxley hit him into the face with one. This is where Lee Moriarty tried to go for one move, run right from the right corner side back to the left to hit up the lower left corner, send him to the upper right. This is where he got right on and started hitting right hands right to the face in 80s style, I should say. Like what Simon Miller would say. This is where he started hitting right hands like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is where he started biting the right head of Lee Moriarty. This is where he's like, "Get your teeth out of my forehead." Like, that's not And that's not normal behavior. Like, I was like, and I was thinking, I thought you were more of a tiger style. Like, and tigers usually bite. So what difference does it make? But anyways, this is where John Moxley tried to attack John. John Moxley tried to go and try to charge at Lee Moriarty, but Lee Moriarty elbows him. This gets right into the face of John Moxley. This is where he sent him on the outside. This is where Lee Moriarty's like, oh, like it's just a piece of cake. Like it may be a difficult task at first, but it's not as hard when you get the hang of it. But this is where he tried to, this is where he tried to get him back in the ring. But first, he ran and charged at him with a big Aluva boot right at him when he just got off the upper left corner barricade. This is where we got This is where they brought it back in the ring. This, after he'd been stalking him and running around playing ring around the Rosie. This is where Lee Moriarty grabs onto John Moxley's left arm. This is where he started twisting it and bending it right back. And this is where fans were cheering for Moxley because obviously he was playing the babyface here because he was obviously facing off against a heel wrestler in AEW, and you get the routine. But anyways, this is where he got what's his name in a arm dragging abdominal stretch or a shoulder stretch, I should say. Lee Moriarty got on the John Moxley. This is where he starts stomping on the left foot of John Moxley. Like once he got back up and trying to counter out of the hold he had him on. This is where he tried to go for a clothesline to Lee Moriarty, but Lee Moriarty ducks out of the way. Tried to go for a German suplex, which he had a difficult time of doing at first until he regained his strength and did the move like by double lifting John Moxley the second time because that's guaranteed that works. But this is where he stacks him up in the schoolboy roll up, but John Moxley still kicked out of 2.3. This is where Lee Moriarty trying to think what to do next to the former AEW champion. This is where he grabs John Moxley's left side of his head. This is where he starts hitting nothing but back elbows right to the right side of the head. This is where Lee Moriarty was like, all right, like let's do some more damages. Like try to charge and try to hit another striking maneuver on the former AEW champion. But this is where Moxley counters out of it. Like, AEW, and this is awesome. But this is where John Moxley snap mirrors him in the middle of the ring. Well, actually, it was towards the upper right, I believe, the upper right turnbuckle. Start whacking him with elbow strikes right into his right shoulder, right arm to the left shoulder, I should say. This is where Lee Moriarty started grabbing onto John Moxley's arm. This is where he bent it back like if he was Butch. I was like, how he can, or Pete Dunne, I should say, my apologies. Which now comes to think of it, how come we never seen Pete Dunne on tonight's go-home show with SmackDown? Maybe they're having him ready to be part of the men's Royal Rumble match tomorrow night, along with his new and his reunite tag partner of the British Strong Style, Tyler Bate. But anyways, this is where John Moxley gets back up. This is where John Moxley's like, ow. Like I never felt anything more painful since when I got hit with those nails that backfired on me at Blood and Guts last year. And then this is where Lee Moriarty tried to take advantage. Did a buckle drop kick right to the bottom right corner, right where John Moxley was laying at. This is where he tried to go for another one, or more like a big boot right to the face, looking like a haluva kick. This is where he started bamming him with lefts and rights right to his face. And then this is where he back right onto the upper right corner, diagonal from John Moxley. He's like, release the tiger. And this is where he runs right up to the corner, hit another big boot right to the face. And this is where he got him out of the bottom left corner. This is where he hits what's it called? The Fang. That's what it's called, the Fang, which feels like basically like about to do a suplex, but he turned to a DDT slam. And this is where he tried to go for a pin, but the referee counted to 1, the referee counted to 2. But Moxley kicks out at 2.9999999 double triple nine, minus 0.1 away from being 3, which I'll say that was the most shocking thing I've seen tonight so far on AEW Rampage. That's where Lee Moriarty kicks him, slide swipe kicks his back elbow off his left arm. This is where Lee Moriarty bounces up right onto the bottom right corner. This is where he tried to go for a springboard like maneuver by trying to dive onto John Moxley, but John Moxley caught with a big right hand, which I believe Paul White taught him how to use the KO punch properly. And then this is where John Moxley then he got back in the game. This is where he picks him up. Not pick him up. I'll say pick up his arms and start doing that right foot stomp. Perhaps he learned that from Bryan Danielson, considering they're both teammates of the Blackpool Combat Club. But anyway, this is where he starts stomping on repeatedly, like boom, 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 boom. And this is where the referee's like, "Do you surrender?" And Lee Moriarty wouldn't say anything, so he did not sure how he would take it. But after John Moxley hit that move, this is where he hit the sit-out pile drive. This is where he goes for a pin. Then nearly got the 3, but only got a 2.7 or 8. I'll say 2.7. And this is where John Moxley started whacking him with the big right hand. This time with a big right hand, but this time on his right shoulders. No, left shoulders. No, it was his left shoulder. The last time was his right shoulder, but he's doing it with his left shoulder this time. Started whacking him with elbows. And this is where he run right to the bottom corner of Lee Moriarty, which I was like, hopefully he's bringing back his knee strike maneuver, which that's all he occasionally does. This is where John Moxley then started whacking him with the right elbows right to the head of Lee Moriarty. This is where he started trying to suffocate Lee Moriarty. This is where he successfully did so, because he was not awake to answer the referee's question, and he was absolutely dead, metaphorically, of course. And this is where the referee tried to grab on his arm, but he couldn't feel no movement. So he's like, ring the bell, referee," which Lee Moriarty unfortunately lost. But your winner of tonight's match, the first opener in the match of the night, John Moxley. This is where John Moxley tried to show some sportsmanship, try to shake Lee Moriarty's hand. But this is where Shane Taylor tried to be the a-hole here, or was being a big a-hole into this moment, where he's like, "Yo, don't shake his hand, like he's the enemy, remember?" And then this is where Lee Moriarty's like, "Oh yeah, that's right, but I'm trying to be respectful. We don't need no respect from this." And this is where he hits a big right hand right to the face of John Moxley. Okay, I'm gonna change him. Oh, do okay? Be careful. don't have to go that far. And some tell me this feud isn't over yet, at least between Shane Taylor and Jon Moxley. And Lee Moriarty started smiling and grinning after Shane Taylor hit that huge cheap shot right into the right hand. And this is where he started double teaming, like, you don't deserve to be treated with respect. You're nothing but a piece of sugar, honey, iced tea. And this is where he started stomping on him right to the face of on Jon Moxley, like he was doing to his friend Lee Moriarty. And this was like, that's how we do it, me and my boy Lee here. And this is where the timekeeper started ringing the bells. Like, stop it. Like, you already did enough damages for one night. And this is where we got back. How you been doing? Like, especially with this drama for your mama situation between like you and Saraya and Angelo and Ruby Soho. How you feeling? There's a lot for this match because Anna Jay was gonna have a match later on with the former leader of Riot Squad, and this is where what's his name? Cool Hand Angelo Parker interrupted his friend Anna Jay. He was like, "Look, like there's a lot, and like I have you have my support, like Anna, like." But I hope you understand everything going on. Like, I just can't be out there. It's just too much. And I think with me and Harley kissed last week. And this is where Anna Jay's like, why would you ask me that question? She just slapped him right across his face. Like, I may expect it from Ruby Soho from being being brainwashed by him trying to cheat on her, even though they never been on a date, at least not yet. But she swapped him like for doing something, trying to be a player. That was the point is. But this is where Anna Jay slapped him across the face. She was like, like, I cannot believe you just asked me that question. Like, after everything we've been through, like everything I've been through too, like a group after troop, family after family. Like, I'm so very sick and I'm fed up. Like, tonight, I was trying to defend you. Get your girlfriend. Like, I don't care though. Like, I was defending you, like, and if you, like that. I was doing it for you, like to prove you're innocent. But now I can't do that anymore. I gotta do this for me. Like, I'm have everyone's back. Like, who else has mine? Like, except for me. Yourself. Angelo Parker's like, what have I done? But this is where we got the Don Callis family's Konosuke Takeshita taking on what's his name, Christopher Daniels. I'll say this was kind of like a squash match, but at the same time not exactly like a squash match. Like for one that like to a point that Takeshita's gonna hit him with a certain particular move and easily get the 1, 2, 3. Like. No, it was like a back and forth contest, even though it was like a few minutes. But still, I would say this deserves to be in the number 4 spot of matches of the night, even though there's all 4 of them. But I'll say the matches were pretty good. So I'll say for good reason, I would give tonight's AEW Rampage like a very good rating. But even though it's not a perfect 5, but you'll see. But yeah, this is where we got a huge dangerous kick with Konosuke Takeshita starting to look like an AEW version of Shinsuke Nakamura. This is where he started hitting big right elbows right to the face of Christopher Daniels. This is where he Irish whip him from the top corner ropes. This is where he tried to Irish whip him down to the bottom corner, but Christopher Daniels counters it, trying to wait for him to do a running slamming maneuver right on a rope bound slamming maneuver onto the former DDT Pro star. This is where it's a flying. This is where Takeshita intercepted and hit the big clothesline out of nowhere. This is where This is where Konosuke didn't try to go for. This is where he tried to charge at Christopher Daniels. This is where he snapmares him right to the ground. This is where Konosuke Takeshita is like, come on, get loud in here. What is that? This is where he hits a running senton right, or standing, or a mid-rope senton right onto the ribs of Christopher Daniels. And this is where he's like, like, that was very easy. And that's where Konosuke Takeshita is like, come on, Christopher. Like, you can't be running and hiding for long. This is where he tried to put him around to the upper right corner of the turnbuckle. This is where, on the top turnbuckle, I should say. This is where he tried to go for a suplex on the top turnbuckle. This is where Christopher Daniels started hitting nothing but axe handles right on the back of Konosuke Takeshita. This is where Christopher Daniels started repeatedly hitting headbutts right onto Takeshita. This is where he started screaming out, like, ah! This is where Christopher Daniels started hitting big headbutts right onto Konosuke Takeshita and batted him down. This is where Christopher Daniels was getting ready to hit like a crossbody move, but he's swinging down into I'll say like a pater slam or what's that, like a swinging, what's that, go flat slam, a flat face buster slam. And then soon after, Christopher Daniels hit a flying clothesline right on the Konosuke Takeshita, hit a German suplex, and then Christopher Daniels hit a running STO on top of that. This is where Christopher Daniels like, yeah, scream like that, like, let's go. And this is where he tried to beg Konosuke Takeshita gets back up. This is where he tried to go for a double underhook powerbomb, but this is where Takeshita kicks foots out of it. This is where he swings him back, trying to go for trying to swing him down into a suplex slam or whatever it is. And this is where they hits him with a fine head scissor, kind of like a swing around slam, and hit him with a wheelbarrow Kanoku driver. A wheelbarrow Kanoku driver right onto him, and then turned it back into a wheelbarrow German suplex. Hey, calm down. That's where the falling angel, and you got the 1, 2, 3, and you're a winner, Konosuke Takeshita, in the second match, which is the first mid card. But yeah, like I said, fourth match of the night. But even though it was the shortest match of the night as well, I'll say it still was very entertaining, and still was something to watch after watching a very impressive Friday night SmackDown. But anyways, let's go wherever you need. What do you want, Birdie?
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Whoa.
Oh, all right. Anyway, in the post-match segment, we had Don Callis then on the microphone. Okay. I gotta finish the podcast. I want a better content for you so you can be occupied. Because Uncle SNA is still doing his podcast, and for in the next 20 minutes. This one? Okay. Go. Make up your mind. Okay. Okay. Back to the review. This one got This is where we got Don Callis on the microphone. This is where it's like we're gonna have it's time for the end this between us and Chris Jericho in 2 weeks at Dynamite in Phoenix, Arizona. We're telling you to face the real alpha in professional wrestling. Konosuke Takeshita, also known as. And he's like, and this time, there's not going to be nothing left of Chris Jericho. We're going to take your career hard, Like like you're gonna take your money, cars, money, houses. Like party the interruption, no disrespect, but I got something to say. Conference, and this is where he couldn't help but notice, and he kind of and politely complained about this, saying, how come is it that Konosuke Takeshita should get another shot facing Chris Jericho? So, and don't he already had a shot against the Ultra? Like, and perhaps there's Will Hobbs also had a shot against Chris Jericho. And he's like, and this is where they were like, good point. And this is where fans are boo, like, what the hell is your point? Or where are you coming from? And this is where Kyle Fletcher said what was in the system. He's like, if anybody should have a shot against Chris Jericho, it should be me. And this is where this is where Don Callis is like, I like the motivation, kid. Like, you're right. Like, guess what, Chris Jericho? Like, it'll be the alpha of Alpha Konosuke Takeshita next week, like in New Orleans. You got the Alpha Konosuke Takeshita at Arizona in 2 weeks, but next week you'll be facing Kyle Fletcher live in New Orleans, Louisiana. If you have the guts, and then and then at the end of this next time, there's not gonna be nothing left of Chris Jericho. Like in 2 weeks, it'll come like his head and his other separate his future parts of his separate body is gonna be mine. It's gonna be Will's. It's gonna be Tanosuke, and it's definitely gonna be Kyle's. And it's like, and Jericho, there's gonna be nothing left of you. Like. Yeah, this is where Konosuke Takeshita was already clapping his hands, like if he just took out the trash and cleaning out his dirty hands, which is metaphorically and literally, well, more literally. This is where we got a face-to-face segment with Top Flight and Private Party, like a face-to-face backstage interview with Renee Paquette. This is where she got. This is where she's like, "I'm glad to have you do 5 boys here in this booth right now." And this is where she started off with what's his name, Action Andretti, with him saying, he was like, and this upcoming because they were talking about their upcoming match. This is where Action Andretti's like, and this upcoming match, like, between you 2 boys and my boys, like, I'll make sure to watch y'all's every move. I'm gonna be ringside watching y'all's every move. Let me rephrase that. And he's like, so they won't be pulling no funny business again. And this is where Private Party's like, oh my god, I'm pulling any funny business. I don't know what you're talking about. And this is where Axel Dre's like, don't be playing stupid. Like, because to me, it sounds like a hydration of the situation. And before he could drink this water and crush the bottle, this is where Mark Quinn drop his water bottle, like if he trying to steal the football, steal the basketball, like if it's some kind of a NBA game, and like a bully that's trying to knock over. But anyway, this is where Dante and Darius Martin's like, yo, what the hell was up with that? This is where Private Party's bodyguard was right in front of us, like, no, we don't need no fights right here. This is a no fighting zone. This is where Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn's like, yeah, like, so we will have this match. Like, see you then, and we're gonna have. So if you excuse me, we're gonna go to a party down the street in Burlington. Burlington, I believe that's what he said. Burlington or Burlington. I don't know, but either way, let me know in the comments below. Correct me if I'm wrong. And this is where he even invited Renee Paquette to this party. He was like, if you come and accept the invitation, shots on us. And this is where Renee Paquette's like, oh, thank you. Like, I really appreciate that. And I was like, I don't think John Moxley would appreciate that because he do not like it when somebody is hitting on his woman or even doing something too nice to his woman. And unless if they're trying to do something nice for him, which I make it look like we're not doing any funny business with you. But anyways, yeah, enough about that. That's not my life. I'm gonna get back to the point, which is reviewing this show, because I am a journalistic YouTuber. But this is where we found. This is where we got Ruby Soho taking on. Up next, we have Ruby Soho taking on Anna Jay, and I believe she's trying to get some kind of justice against her, even though Anna Jay did absolutely nothing to do with Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron making her making it look like that Angelo Parker is cheating on Ruby Soho. I mean, yeah, is cheating on Ruby Soho, even though they haven't been on a date, at least not yet. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below, and also, what's your thoughts on Anna Jay? And Anna Jay versus Ruby Soho tonight. For those who watch it, and for those who don't watch, what your thoughts on who would have came out as victory in the comments down below. But anyways, we're gonna start off with the match. We got this wasn't really much of a long match either, but it was at the same time not too short. Like it was not too short, or at least not shorter than the match, the previous match, which was what's his name, Christopher Daniels versus Tenosuke Takeshita. But anyways, this is where the bell rang and started beating the living daylights out of the poor young star of AEW. This is where she started hitting her face first right into the barricades, and then right back in the ring. This is where the referee finally started the match. This is where Anna Jay started hitting clotheslines and hitting other strikes on her. Whacked her face first right into the upper right corner of Tina in the turnbuckle. This is where she started hitting nothing but chops right onto the shoulder and the chest of Ruby Soho. This is where she goes for a clothesline, but this is where Ruby Soho ducks out of it. This is where Ruby Soho tried to go for an attack to Anna Jay, but Anna Jay dodges and hits a upper toe kick right into the face of Ruby Soho. This is where she roundhouse kicks the what's it called, the Outcast member. This is where Anna Jay started kneeing the hell out of Ruby Soho's face. This is where Ruby Soho somehow got out of the hold of Anna Jay, started beating her with moves of her own, started stomping her face and kicking her face and putting her face first right onto in the ring. This is where we got then this is where we have but this is where Ruby Soho then finally. This is where Anna Jay got back on and started fighting what's her name, Anna Jay. This is where Harley Cameron and Ruby Soho tried to do something slick and got on the apron. This is where the referee's like, "Oh no, you don't!" Like when the referee caught them before they even did whatever move they were doing on the whatever maneuver they were gonna do on Anna Jay. This is where the referee's like, "Oh no, you don't!" Like you're not gonna be doing anything because you are ejected. They got ejected. This is where they went back in the backstage area. This is where Anna Jay trying to go for a backslide or some kind of a gory slam, but this is where Ruby Soho intercepts and counters out of it. This is where Ruby Soho hits the. Why'd you rip it? But anyways, this is where Ruby Soho hits this face buster maneuver, looked like Sister Abigail, but as soon as she got the pin, but this is where the referee kicks out. Not referee counts to 1, counts to 2, away from being 3. And this is where Anna Jay is like, "I'll never give up." This is where Ruby Soho's like, "Oh, you will when I do this." This is where she hits a back chop right into the head. This is where she's trying to go for no future right off the top rope. This is where Anna Jay counters out of it. It's a blockbuster neck breaker right off the middle ropes. Anna Jay This is what Anna Jay's like, and for your information, Ruby, I didn't do it, which she shouted right before she hit the Queen Slayer. And then this is where she got it locked in. Like, this is where Ruby saw, like, okay, I'm moving it, but here you go. Go to your little page. What second? I'll say, yeah, second match of the night. I'll say second, yeah. The second match of the night, but yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what your thoughts onto this match, and do you think it should have been better with Angelo Parker being involved, which I don't think it needed to. I think Ruby Soho, she just told me that she didn't do it, and she convinced me by hitting that Queen Slayer me. Well, she wouldn't say she convinced me. She made it so convincing because she was red hot angry, along with being red hot. What's they call it? Over, I should say, with her winning so many matches. But let me know in the comments down below about this situation in the storyline in All Elite Wrestling. But this is where we got a backstage interview with Eddie Kingston, where Renee Paquette was like, I brought you here in this time, Eddie Kingston. This is where Eddie Kingston's like, hey, what's up, Renee? How you doing? And this is where he's like, here's the current New Japan, not New Japan, AEW Continental Crown Champion. And this was like for Brian Dempsey. Like, what do you say about what? But I have some questions about what Brian Danielson had said about you, and what's your response on to this? That's why Eddie Keys is like, oh, why you bring about me and Brian here? Like, nah. Like, if you don't respect me, that's fine. And I was like, you saw him act like my father. Like, along with looking like a Puerto Rican version of my father. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Anyway, that's why Eddie Kingston was like, and this is where I was like, I'm gonna be looking for luck for Legata to get the win against Bryan Danielson this Saturday at TNT, right? On AEW Collision, that's correct. Like Renee Paquette confirmed that he got it right for saying AEW Collision, along with being live on TNT, because those are the only two shows at this time that both Rampage and Collision's coming on, along with Dynamite and being on TBS ever since 2022. But anyway, this is where Eddie Kingston was like now I want to be on Collision, like not work for respect. Like I want to be in the ring with somebody that I respect personally, like along with here in business. Like I want to face someone that actually deserves a shot and that earns being the next challenger for my AEW Continental Crown Champion. Like in a scenario like this, like you beat me, you get the shot immediately. Like what about you, Will and Mac? Me and you, Will, we come from the independent scene, dog. Like we work hard, man. Like we. And then now, like you brought too much of business, like, and you made yourself well known here at AEW as well. Like, I want to show you a token of my appreciation. Like, I'll give you a like a contenders match for my not New Japan Strong, the AEW Continental Crown Champion. That's why I should say, yeah. It is like, I'm not afraid of fighting. I am not afraid of fighting him, and despite having no respect for the guy. But the guy, like, good luck for your match against Danielson, which we're probably going to see a contenders match with Eddie Kingston and Willie Mack. Now that he mentioned his name and challenged him in a respectful match, a respectful contenders match. And who thinks he's gonna walk out victorious? Let me know in comments with that. And Nagata and Bryan Danielson in their respective match. Let me know all about it in the comments down below. But let's move on to the main event of the evening and the third match of the night, I guess you could say. And it was none other than the freshly squeezed number one contenders match between Commander with a K and El Hijo del Vikingo and Kip Sabian and the Butcher, I believe. Yeah. But before we get to that match, this is where we got a vignette of Serena Deeb, because of course she's gonna have her return match against, but Serena Deeb's gonna have her first match back ever since 2022. I think the professor or who you think that the professor of professional wrestling is going to face at tomorrow night's AEW Collision? Sound off in the comments down below. But let's move on to the main event match, which we saw tonight, which was the third match of the night. Like, it was very impressive, but not as much as impressive with Jon Moxley and Lee Moriarty, in my opinion, of course. But at the same time, I'm a fan of most of these guys, especially Commander with a K and El Hijo Vikingo, of hitting these lucha libre style moves on each other. This is where we got what's his name? Ohio Delphi Kingo was on the road by hitting like moves or whatever in top rope or in the ring by running and doing some high flying athletic maneuver, showing his agilities and his abilities, agilities, and his Kip Sabian until Kip Sabian throws him right to the bottom of the upper right corner of the team in the turnbuckle. This is where he had him into some kind of an arm stretch with his knee on his back when he snap married him right in the middle of the ring. This is where both Kip Sabian and the Butcher started double teaming both Commander and Vikingo. With also Kip Sabian Irish whipping Commander with a K onto the upper left corner, which he landed right onto the Butcher with a huge clothesline that was coming his way. This one is like, yeah, let's go, team. Like, even though it wasn't a tornado tag match, it was a fatal four-way match. Two determines to be the new number one contender for Orange Cassidy's AEW International Championship. But anyway, back to the match. This is where they start continuing their double team on the poor Commander with Kip Sabian ordering the Butcher to put him on his shoulders into a fireman's carry position, which he lifts up in the air like about at least 11 feet, with Kip Sabian catching him with his knees like some kind of a fireman's gutbuster, except like a double team combo version of the maneuver. This is where Kip Sabian tried to go for a pin, but this is where the Butcher drags on his leg. Otherwise, we would have saw a new number one contender or not. But yeah, he dragged him off his foot. It looks like we saw some shenanigans going on. Like, even though it wasn't outside interference, but it seems like we could see a breakup between the Butcher and Kip Sabian from this trios faction between them and the Blade. And it would be just them as the tag team stars, while Kip Sabian be a solo mid-card competitor star. But this is what Kip Sabian is like, don't you ever pull your boss's leg, and kicks him right in the gut. He was like, do I make myself clear? And this is where the Butcher was like, you think that's going to hurt me? And you don't realize that this is an every man for himself match. Like you're not going to see Randy Orton and AJ Styles and LA Knight or Roman Reigns going to team with each other on tomorrow night's Royal Rumble. So why should we? Should we still work together when it comes to who's going to be the winner? I was like, that's a good point. I was like, let's hope that rumor won't turn out to be true with Randy Orton helping Roman Reigns to retain, and it'll be more likely it'll be a close match. Whoever wins the title, which is the Universal Championship, of course. And this is where Kip Sabian's like, come on, if you say so. This is where Butcher's like, yeah, nothing personal, but we got maybe we should fight each other. This is where he got him. This is where Kip Sabian tried to grab him, try to go for a headlock, but this is where the Butcher then ducked out of his way. This is where he hits a back suplex backbreaker combo maneuver. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but it would have been a 3. Aubrey was counted 1 and counted to 2, but this is where El Hijo Delphi Kingo hit the double foot stomp, but nearly landed on Aubrey Edwards. This is where this is where Vikingo then got back up. This is where he dodges the clothesline right onto the head of the Butcher. This is where he runs to go for a springboard right to a middle drop kick right onto the Butcher. This is where he had him right and towards the upper right corner. This is where El Hijo del Vikingo did go run right towards the upper right corner, like try to go for go for a drop kick. But this is where he gets tripped over by Kip Sabian right between his legs, like right onto the ring post. This is where kids don't take out the Butcher is gonna be me, his teammate himself. And this is where Kip Sabian tried to go for his signature or even his finishing maneuver, like in a DDT position. But this is where Commander with a K got back up right into the bottom corner apron, hit a springboard clothesline right on to Kip Sabian, which he made him do a DDT right onto Vikingo. This is where Commander was back up. This is where he was getting ready to hit his comeback move. This is where he picks up Kip Sabian. This is where he Irish whip him right to the bottom, from the bottom, heading towards the upper corner ropes. This is where then Commander with a K hits a springboard moonsault kind of a jig. This is where Kip Sabian trying to go for a clothesline, but this is where Commander with a K dodges the clothesline. This is where he runs right to the bottom corner rope. This is where he went right towards Commander, but he hits a running rope-bound Spanish fly right onto Kip Sabian. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Aubrey Edwards count to 1, count to 2, nearly a 3, but Kip Sabian kicks out at 2.99999 with the shoulders coming right up from his left arm. In his left shoulder, of course. This is where the Commander with a K trying to go right up the top rope and hit his finishing maneuver, splash majig right off the top. But this is where Commander stopped him right on top, trips him over by pushing him, and he landed on the jewels of making families, which I was like, hopefully Commander has family already, because some tells me anytime soon when he's trying to plan on starting a family, it's not going to happen anytime soon. But anyway, this is where he goes right up. This is where Vikingo goes up the top rope. This is where like about to hit a Hurricane Rana right off. Go for that huge Hurricane Rana right off the upper right corner of the turnbuckle. This is where the Butcher grabs on the Vikingo with a surprise in an electric chair position. This is where Vikingo then try to go for a suplex, but this is where Kip Sabian's like, what I should do? Oh, like maybe I should do the most Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy maneuver in all of professional wrestling and be on their knees and be like stand like a footstool, or which what's his name? The Butcher tripped over into a electric chair, which then also suplex into some kind of a Tower of Doom like maneuver with what was the Taz that said, "Holy smokes!" Like, yeah, that just really happened. When Kip Sabian tried to take advantage, but he only got a 2.1 count with his own tag partner Butcher, like when he tried to hit him first, but second he goes for a Commander, but he only got a 1.2 count. Then he went to El Hijo del Vikingo, right? Del Vikingo right into a schoolboy roll up, which is kind of like the most devastating move in all the sports entertainment. But this is where Alex Abrahantes pushes Kip Sabian's legs off the ropes because he did not like what he was doing to his client or one of his clients because Penta El Ziedo Miedo, like Orange Cassidy's international championship. But anyway, this is where Kip Sabian was very ticked off on what Alex Abrahantes said. I did that because like it was unfair what you were doing because like neither Commander or Vikingo would have done that. And this is where Commander with a K was like, all right, you want to mess up? This is where Kip Sabian's like that was 3. Like if it hadn't been for this goofball, like I would have won and became number 1 contender. This is where Alex Abrahantes got some time bought from him arguing with with Aubrey Edwards. This is where he was a right for his other client, Commander with a K. Went right onto him like a footstool, stepping stool, I should say, and like what Jeff Hardy would do with Matt Hardy with the poetry in motion double team maneuver. Abrahantez's back and hit first right into the concrete floor, which he found the opportunity to get, a high Odell Fakingo did in a huge moonsault, like if he was Charlotte Flair. But I was thinking hey, no Latino man should be doing that except for her Latino man. But she could show up at the Royal Rumble less than 24 hours from now. But anyways, this is where Flash. Oh no, it was, or was it the Phoenix Splash? That's what it was. The Phoenix Splash, but this is where Commander with a K kicks him right to the face. The counter the maneuver. This is where Commander ducks out of the clothesline once he got back up with what's his name? The Butcher tried to go for a clothesline, but this is where he kind of go right to the right side, go for an overflip Hurricane Rana maneuver, but this is where the Butcher would not let him go for a Hurricane Rana. Hits a sit-out power bomb into a reversal. And this is where he tried to go for a pin, but luckily his usual teammate, that's an opponent of this match because it is every man for himself. But he saved the day and saved his opportunity away, so he can face Orange Cassidy, which I'm not sure if he's the man that's gonna be the victorious one. But he hits a suicide dive right onto him, to stop winning by pinfall. Otherwise, the Butcher would have been number one contender. This is where the Butcher's I'm getting tired of not getting singles opportunities around here, and you clowns are getting way too many opportunities. So I'm gonna do exactly what you're doing with me and ruining y'all's chance of being. Chandler hits a spinning corkscrew kick right into the face, boom, a torpedo corkscrew kick. This is where he runs right to the bottom right corner. This is where he's clap by clap. She does hits the move. This is where Vikingo got turned around by. This is where he turns him around. This is where Vikingo kicks Commander with a K right in the midsection. This is where he gets roundhouse kick right to the face. This is where, no, not fork. You got to get a spoon for this. You got a clean one, Birdie. Well, Uncle SNA can clean you one, though. But anyway, that's where. Okay, I'll take it off. And the number one championship, freshly squeezed, Orange Cassidy. I told you, fork is not going to work. But this is where we got hours, more like less than 24 seconds, because he came in less than 20 seconds to meet up with the new latest number one contender for his international champ. He was I want to wish you luck. This is where you got to go for a handshake. When Commander with a K was okay, I appreciate the sportsmanship. And this is where we're going to get the match. We have so many matches. Mariah May against Lady Frost. What's her name? Serena Deebs in her return match. Ever since her absence from her injury back since 2022. And also Ryan Danielson against Nagata, I believe his name is. Yeah. Yuji Nagata. That's what his name is. Yuji Nagata. And Eddie Kingston taking on Willie Mack in the Continental Crown Championship Open Challenge. Or more like a Contenders Open Challenge. And who thinks going to win all those matches respectively on tomorrow night's Collision? Unfortunately, I won't be doing a review video until Sunday afternoon. So make sure to check out the review I took Sunday afternoon of that. The day after tomorrow on Sunday. And yes, sir, and ma'am, that was your list of AEW. Yes, sir, and ma'am, that was your review video of AEW Rampage. And which one was your favorite match? And what's your thoughts on it? And which one was the best match or the worst match of the night? in the comments down below. Let me know all about that. And if you like this video, make sure to hit the big thumbs up button, subscribe, click the bell notification so you can be the first one to know when I upload my latest videos. And make sure to check out my wrestling news video fans need to know. On January 20, talking about the wrestling news for January 27th, 2024. And yeah, make sure, and also we'll also have AEW few seconds. And we're gonna also have an WWE Royal Rumble review. Make sure to check out AEW Collision on Sunday. And this is the first time I'll be making a review the day after a show that's been on the air to make a review of it, because what exactly happened on the Over the Top Rope Battle Royal event, matches for the men's and women was already talked about on my SmackDown review. I think it's going to be CM Punk and Becky Lynch going to win the men's and women's respectively. We're going to have between Roman Reigns and Randy Orton for the Universal Championship match. And I would say for the United States Championship match, Kevin Owens, even though it might be Logan Paul. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a great Friday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we're watching the Royal Rumble event, and I'll be making the wrestling news afterwards as well. But until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, out of here. Bye-bye, my SNA fans, and I'm glad I can explain what exactly happened on SmackDown and Rampage. And yeah, and I can't wait to tell you what exactly happened, what kind of surprises and what kind of shocking moments happen, or even exciting moments perhaps happen on tomorrow night's event. Goodbye, my SNA fans. Stay safe out there.